All right, everyone, welcome back to Ohio Tickets with Robert. We are at Mary C Metzger's Park in Louisville, Ohio. There's the parking lot, children's playground. I won't focus on that too much. Don't want to get a YouTube put in jail again. That got all resolved. They apologized and allowed my video to be posted. I'm not sure why there was even an issue. They admitted they made a mistake, because I never guarantee anything with Ohio Lottery other than when it's a $5 ticket and they give you 2 wins and you scratch under the first one and it's $1. You already know that the other 2 are going to be $2. So, but anyhow, my work is having a competition for the next 2 months for people trying to get fit and going out and doing laps and stuff, and they give little bonuses and stuff, not money, but on this competition, if you enter and add trivia, they have trivia questions, that's what it is. And then on Thursdays they put out a little task. You can earn bonus points. That's what I was trying to say. You get bonus points for doing these things, and you get bonus points if you do over 10,000 steps a day. They're literally just looking for people that do 6,000. You know, that's what they're trying to get people out and motivated. Well, I'm just a little bit over weight, I think. I mean, I still can get around. I'm not sure what that is over there. It might be their new library. I'm not sure. I will have to drive past there and look at the there's some ball fields coming up ahead. Look at the sign when I leave the park. I'll just drive down that way, because I'm not sure if it's the new library or if it's something else, because next to the high school is the YMCA. So, but yeah, these are all new. I was here yesterday. I was late afternoon. I posted a few pictures that I took on my Facebook page, made a reel of it. I did see an owl, and I was kind of amazed because don't see too many owls out in the wild. I mean, I know that's where they're at. I see more of them on documentaries or in like a zoo or something in the aviary section, or at a wilderness center that they may be, you know, caring for it until it's better enough to be released back into the wild. So yeah, that's what I took a few pictures of yesterday, was the owl. So I'm not sure how much I'm going to film, because I don't want to, I'm not that good at the editing in it. I'm using an Android, was it 22, 23 Galaxy phone to do my recordings and stuff. I don't even have a GoPro. And then there's that little one of the birds I filmed yesterday. But yeah, it's just a nice day. It's a lot better. The sun's out today, as you can see. There's really, I mean, the sun's right up there. Sorry if anyone's blinded, but yeah, I mean, it's a completely different day from when I was out here yesterday. I mean, it's a different time also, granted, but yesterday it was just clouds all day. A little bit of spitting rain and that, mostly wind. But yeah, so I got over my 10,000 steps in yesterday. But so I may stop and start this video as I go, so you might see different sections. But right now I'm walking through the main, well, I can't say main area because this is the ball fields down in this section, but this is part of the walking trail. But back where I just showed you guys where I came from, back there's the playground area, the pavilions, picnic area. When I drove in, there was a dog park on the other side. So, but yeah, this is in Louisville, Ohio, and yes, it's spelled just like they spell Louisville in Kentucky, but in Kentucky they pronounce it Louisville, but here we pronounce it as Louisville. So that's what it is. So okay, so that is the library, because on that car, let me focus in so you can see what I see with my little eye. Library. Let me go back out. So, but yeah, so that is the new library. I did, when I got married for the second time, we were looking at houses in Louisville, and we were going to have to share a drive with this mother and daughter, and I had 2 young boys, and it was a nice house. It just didn't fit what we needed because of the kitchen space, and it was like the only place you could have to eat was like this little shelf that they put in, and there was no room to put in a table or anything, so all 4 of us wouldn't be able to sit down at a meal together and eat. But yet all you had to do is walk out of your backyard down the slope and you were at the library. But obviously that was a long time ago, because now it's 2025. I've been divorced since 2012. I married her in 2002, I think. Yeah, something like that. Anyhow, because our honeymoon completed. Whoops, sorry. There's the outhouse. They do have public restrooms further up in the pavilion area, but they have this here for people at the ball fields, obviously. And there's another ball field. Those high tension wires I'll be walking past after a while. It'll be a long walk, because I'll just walk, I guess, the route I did yesterday. Like I said, I'll piece this together because I don't know how long of a video I want to do, and I don't think you want to hear me huffing and puffing, because I am trying to eat smaller meals, but I'm trying to eat more meals per day, because I just heard that's how you can boost your metabolism. If you eat small meals but eat multiple during the day, you don't get full, but your belly is churning and doing all its stuff it needs to do to take care of the stuff that you're putting into you. So I am trying to do that. I refuse to give up on my steaks, though. The portion size is my biggest downfall, because I just don't understand how you expect somebody that you tell them, oh, well, you're morbidly obese and you need to be doing this and doing that, and it's like, yeah, you tell me to go from a nice sized prime rib to the size of a playing card. That's the only amount of meat you should be eating, and then have half your plate full of vegetables, and then a quarter of your plate carbos, and then the other quarter is that playing card size piece of meat. Not sure how anyone could just dive into that. I mean, I'm pretty sure, I'm sure there's probably some people who do it. I don't know how you could do it, but yet again, here I am out walking. My water bottle's starting to drive me nuts, so I'm going to put it in a different pocket. I had it in my coat pocket, but I'll put it in my front pocket. But like you really needed to know that. So, but yeah, I found walking that direction, there's a part of this park that stops, and then they've linked it to the Stark County parks. So there's a walk, and that's where I saw the owl. I walked down there, went to the edge of it. There's a street. The walk continues. I did not feel that I should go past the street. So here's I'll get to that, back to that in a minute. Here's a bench that was at one time memorialized to somebody, but unfortunately, or they're waiting for somebody to pay to have it memorialized. It doesn't look like, I don't know, I can't tell. That plate doesn't look like it's been, has anything had ever been put on it, but see the bird there? There he is. Oh, he's hiding now. But yeah, a butterfly. But anyhow, it's just the fact that the park goes further on, and I don't know, since it is broad daylight now and it's, you know, midday, I may go across that street. It just depends on how my legs are. I wasn't even going to come out today because I was like, you know what, my little body, and I laugh at that, my little body needs a little bit of rest from doing all this walking. I've only been doing the walking for a week now. So this is the rotary area of the park that they've adopted to keep clean. Now this is pretty cool here. This is the mindfulness trail that we're going to be going on, and I will show you, since we're doing this, I will show you some of the things that they have down here, and I will film the signs so you can read and stop the video at your time, that you can read the signs and what they say. All right, I'll just go ahead and film this one now. You see this here? And it looks like somebody's already changed the layout of it since I was here yesterday, because there was more stones on it. But here's what this is. Here's the first, oops, sorry. Zoom in for you so you can read it. There, I'll film that for a bit. That's their mascot, the leopard, Louisville leopards. Okay, let me zoom back out. All right, now we're back. Sorry about my fingers there. Like I said, I'm not a professional. I don't have a stick that I carry with me to do these. I just do this all with my hand. But this is where the mindfulness trail goes, underneath that bridge. My children used to love going down there, and there's people jogging in that with their dogs down that direction. But yeah, when they were younger, they loved coming to this part of the bridge. And you should be thinking, oh, cardinal right up there. I don't know if you could see it. Oh, it just flew. Oh, it's flying. So I don't know if you have to zoom in. I'm not going to stop and zoom in on everything I see. So you might have to zoom. Oh, there's one right in there. I may see if I can zoom in on it. Yep, there he is. There's the cardinal. All right, leave him alone. But yeah, back to my kids. I got divorced from their mom. What was it? 97, and then got remarried in, was it 2001 or 2002? I can't remember, because like I said, we got back from our honeymoon just a couple weeks, or a week maybe, before 9/11 happened. But that's another story. Anyhow, yeah, because their mom did a couple things, but I ended up getting full custody of my kids. So I always try to make sure that we could, because she was always dropping them off at places and stuff. I'm not trying to badmouth her, but not dropping them off at places. She was always dropping them off at my house when it was her time to have them, and claiming she had a family emergency. And I know she had very little family. So, but anyhow, this is why they like to come in here, because it's a giant echo chamber. So they would yell at the top of their lungs and try to see how much their sound could make and how long it would last. So yeah, they used to love coming through here and having the echo chamber. It would just make their day when we'd come to this park after they'd play. I say, let's go for a walk. And they're like, we're going to the tunnel. I'm like, yeah. So that was the tunnel we just came through. And so that's what they would love going. We would stand in that for a good 5 minutes or more, just so they could hear themselves echoing around in that tunnel. But so we should be coming up, I think, to another sign. Like I said, that stacking stone one is actually, I think, supposed to have been read as you're coming back from this course this way, but I decided to just do it before I started down here. This trail does fork off in 2 different directions, and one goes into a parking lot. The other one right now, is under construction because there's a huge building they're putting up, so they have part of that area blocked off, so you can't walk in that direction. So another person coming down the path. Like I said, I'm not trying to be annoying with people and stuff. I'm just filming my little walk as I'm going through. Oh, I stand corrected. This is a bench that I used to stop. No, I think there was a sign. Come on, Robert. We just were here yesterday. You know darn well there's a sign. Don't start being an old, and not that there's anything wrong with being an old person, but I used to always say when you got to a certain age and if you couldn't remember something from the day before, then it was time to hang it up. But see, I also is old enough to remember the movie Logan's Run. So when you were past your, I think it was, what, 30s? Let me zoom in on this top one. So you can do mindful breathing. I love how they covered part of the word with the screw. So you can do that. And then you can do this exercise. Okay, we'll move on. Hello. All right. I didn't want to, she said hello. I just didn't want to upset her by being on camera because she may not want it to be. So that's why I held the camera down towards the grass. You heard our interaction. So that's why when I'm filming to the casino, I mainly try to have my camera, like I said, I hold it in my hands, focused primarily straight on the screen. So if I have to hold it back because the screen grows or something and people walk near my machine or around the back side of it, I can't help but they get into the video. And like I said, I'm using this to film, and I switch it to I used to do everything on this phone, but I have a tablet now, not an iPad. It's a Samsung Galaxy tablet. I forget the model and if it's a 9 or whatever, but anyhow. So I have a tablet that I have the same filming editing on there that I do my phone. So I just haven't really explored what to do with it, or how to use it properly, I should say, because obviously I've been putting out videos, but I don't know. I've been doing this for a few years now, and still haven't broken 1,000 mark of people or a ton of people viewing my videos, which is ironic due to the fact if you go to Google Maps and look at reviews of places and stuff, and oh, I'm sorry, here's another sign. But yeah, you go to Google Maps and that, I have over 13 million people that have viewed my photos of places that I go and review and stuff like that. And one photo I took was a pint outside of an Irish bar when I was, and I am so terrible. Can't remember the name of the, oh, I think it was O'Dooley's or something. But I'm trying to remember at the moment the town that we were in. But if you look up Ohio Tickets with Robert or Robert Bates on Google Maps for reviews and stuff, you should see it. It's like, I couldn't believe that photo within, not moments, but days, weeks, or whatever, maybe it was a month or something, had over 80K views. And I'm like, I'm just sitting out here having a meal, or I was waiting for my meal to come. I had a pint and I just set it on the table and just took a photo of it. And like I said, over 80,000 people viewed that. It's a photo of a glass of beer. So I don't know. I see other YouTubers doing things, having games, giving out prizes, but not saying that that's wrong. I'm not saying what they're doing is wrong. If they want to go that route to get viewership, that's them. That's what they want to do. Oh, there's a blue jay just flew off up there, or is it a pigeon? I just saw the blue from the back, so I don't know if it's an actual blue jay or if it is a pigeon. But anyhow, that's their choice. I just choose, yeah, it's a pigeon. Yeah, because you can, oh, it keeps moving on me. Must not want to be filmed. I don't know where it's gone to now. I mean, I can see it in my, yeah, he just flipped to another branch. I just saw him go into another branch, so we'll just keep moving. But yeah, it's just the fact that I personally, if your content's, and maybe my content's not good enough, I don't know. It's just the fact that I don't feel I should have to bribe people to come to my channel and view it and stuff and subscribe and stuff. I mean, I do ask people if they, you know, if they will hit the like button, if they don't mind subscribing and all that stuff. But I mean, everyone else does too. It's not uncommon. And I do appreciate Mike from Itching to Scratch. I'm a member of his channel. He always gives me a shout out. So if you want to see some English cards, scratch cards, and sometimes he'll drive in his local village. He lives in Wales. So you can see some of the Welsh mountains and countryside because his backyard butt ups, geez, is near a bridle path. And then on the other side of that is open field and then a mountain range. And I, at the particular moment, I'm trying to get air into my lungs, so my brain is not wanting to function. But anyhow, here's another sign. I could have filmed this, I guess, on the way back, but it's another thing you can do. There's no place to sit, really. And that's very nice. It's got a QR code that you can click onto and allows you to identify and see and hear the birds that you saw. So that's pretty cool. All right, moving on. I may, oh, also there's several bird houses. I don't know if you've been seeing them. I haven't been probably showing correctly, but here comes another one. So yes, they have several of these on different trees, on poles and areas and stuff. Now, I'm trying to think. It might have been, no, it wasn't this. But isn't that a cool way from your backyard to get into the park? That's pretty cool. It'd be nice if they had handrails. I'm not saying that they have to, I'm just saying if you have any elderly people that you want to show them the park, or they want to use a walking track while you're visiting, you might want to put a handrail at least on the one side. But like I said, it's not my property, it's not my place to say what they can and should do with their area. All right, I'm gonna stop, or maybe I can pause the video until I get, okay, we walked a little bit further up the trail. I just didn't want to bore you all, but this is the next sign, and I'll show you what it is. It's not, I don't think, ready yet, obviously. I think they got to do a little bit of work more in here, but I think at one time this probably had a whole bunch of wonderful flowers and different things that you could smell and stuff. I don't know if you can see him, but there's a, I don't know if I can focus in on him because he's pretty far. Oh, there he is. Anyways, oops, sorry about that. I'm just trying to track Mr. Squirrel. There he goes. All right, let's leave Mr. Squirrel alone. Get back down to my normal. All right, I'm going to put you on pause again. Hopefully, I don't know if I'll have to restart the video or not, but I don't think there's a sign for a bit, and as you can see, there's quite a distance for me to walk, and I don't know what else. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Louisville High School that I'm walking next to. Totally forgot to mention that, but that's the high school part of it there. This is, yeah, this part of the walking path goes around the high school. You'll see ball fields and that, but I'm going to shut it down for a little bit. When I get a little further up, I'll turn you back on. So that's it for at this particular moment. I'll put you on pause. Hopefully it'll last until I get where I need to go. Okay, yesterday I didn't film my walk, okay? I passed this spot, and then there was a young girl on here. I would guess she's underage. She was all in black, and on top of her head, she had one of those white, evil rabbit face mask. So she was filming something in the creek and saying something, so she might have been doing a TikTok video. I walked further down this way, and then here's more of the park, or not the park, the athletic grounds of the high school. When I came back, she was sitting on there, and as I walked past her, I didn't say anything to her, when she was here, and she pulled her mask down and started walking over to the athletic area. So the reason I bring it up, I wasn't going to say anything about it, but I saw her leave that area because I was already coming back from the part that we're going to be walking to momentarily. And then there was this big, huge guy. I don't know if he knew her or what, but he was like, I don't know if trying to run up to catch up to her. And then she said something to him or something, but I had my umbrella with me. I was wearing a different jacket than the one I'm wearing now. So he got up to, see where this car is about to stop? He got up to there. I was on the other side of that path, and he saw me, because I don't know if he was like running up and thought he was going to save her or something, but he was like running towards that way. Then I think he saw me, and also next thing I know, I flicked my umbrella at him, and he turns, and there's a car parked down around that corner. But this is what I really wanted to show you, was the xylophone. I'll let you pause the video so you can read all that. But yeah, this is the xylophone, and apparently somebody took the mallet. But yeah, that's the xylophone. So yeah, walk down here, film a little bit more, and then put you guys on pause, because when I get around this corner, I'll show you something I saw. Hopefully they're not there today, but I don't like filming people without them knowing I'm filming, or if they, you know, want me to, if I can figure out my blurring capability, I should be able to do it. But like I said, I need to view and do better on learning how to edit and stuff. Maybe that's why I don't have the viewership that I do, that I think I should do. Anyhow, that's the parking lot down there that the guy ran to, because like I said, I was crossing this particular area, make sure there's nobody coming, and walk across. All right. Sorry if I'm out of breath. Like I said, I've only been doing this type of walking for a week now. My first time that I tried to get some steps in, I did miserable, because I was just feeling, not that I was sick or anything, it was just, I'm not used to exercise. I'll admit it. Okay. I'm under 300 pounds now. 290 something, but so I'm hoping if I keep doing this, that the weight will drop if I practice healthy eating and that. But yeah, that's the parking lot the guy ran to and took off. So I don't know what his game was. So glad I was here. So if he was trying to harm that young lady, then at least I've been able to. Oh yes, here's another thing. They have disc golf in the most unusual places. I don't know how you would even get down in there. I mean, there's some other places, but here's the next sign on the tour of this amazing park that's in Louisville, Ohio. Sorry that sun is behind this. Hopefully you can still see it and read it. If I get close enough to it, it gets too dark, but hopefully you're able to still read what's on there. But I think they need to do a little bit more work, or whoever's doing these needs to do a little more work. But like I said, it could be all volunteers. Okay, I do not hear the noise I was hearing yesterday, but down here as I was walking through, there was a bunch of young kids. I saw bicycles strewn around the place, and they were all having a good time down in the creek, having fun, throwing rocks in it and stuff, and yelling and carrying on with each other, which, you know, perfectly fine things for, I think they were all boys. I don't want to discriminate against if there were any girls down there, but they looked like they were young men to me. I mean, I got two boys of my own. Matthew just turned 31 on the 19th of April. Brent's gonna be, 34 in October. But yeah, that's a creek down there they were all playing in. So they were, I would say there might have been a couple that were between 10 and 12, and the rest were younger than that. But that's all I'll say about them. I won't even bother about giving a description, because that's just creepy. But the reason I told you about the girl was the fact that it was just weird to see somebody all in black and with a bunny costume. There we are, 1.5 so far. All right. So here's more of the disc golf coming up. And hopefully you guys don't see messages that pop up in my video. So that'd be rather rude to be watching a video and all of a sudden see a message pop up. But like I said, I don't watch my own video. I mean, I watch them to edit them, obviously, but I really haven't paid attention to see if a message does pop up. All right. So this is what I was telling you about, that this would used to lead up to a public sidewalk that you could walk back into town if you wanted to. But I don't know what they're building. Like I said, I have not driven past it. I'm not from Louisville. I was born in Canton. I live in Plain Township, and Louisville is just about 7.5 miles down the road from me. A gentleman enjoying the warm day on his motorcycle with his music playing so he can hear it over the, I think it's probably a Harley that he's driving. It's not that hard to distinguish a Harley from any other motorcycle on the planet. But oh, I get a kick out of this sign here. It's an instructions for dog owners. You don't see too many people walking their cats. I did meet the other day, I don't know if I've already said this, I've met very many friendly people yesterday, and as I was finishing up my walk, I met this lady and her companion and their dog Zeus. Very friendly dog, very well behaved. It was on a harness with a leash and stuff. But yeah, there's what they want you to do if you have a dog in here. Don't think every dog walker walks behind their dog with a pail and a scoop, or I'm sorry, scoop and a dinner plate to collect their waste. So I understand that they're wanting people to clean up after them, but I don't think you get much walking if you got to follow your dog like that. So hopefully no one ever has literally taken them for their word, and that's how they have to go around the park like that. I'm sorry, that was my little chuckle of, I see that sign. I guess I'm going to be 59 in November. And the reason I say that is because obviously I have the maturity of a 13-year-old, but I just thought that sign was kind of funny, because it's like, seriously, do you expect somebody to walk through the park bent over with a spade and a plate waiting to clean up their dog's waste? I didn't think you really needed to post a picture of what you were expected to do. I just figured all you had to do was just post the words, please clean up after your dog, and everything will be fine. But all right, since we're going back the way we just came, I'll put it on pause again until I get to that other part of the park that I walked in, because we gotta walk, obviously. Yeah, good job there, Captain Obvious. More of the creek. You'll have to zoom in. I heard church bells, but okay, now as I walk away, the church bell dings again. So I was just trying to focus. I don't know if you can hear it in the background or not, but anyhow, so that's enough of me rambling. I will put this on pause as of now, and hopefully this will still be there when I get to where I need to go for the next one, and we'll see you there. All right, I wasn't going to film until I got to the other side again, but I did come down and I had to use the facilities. This is that disc golf that I was showing you. The other video, I'm gonna have to piece them together because I had it on pause and I hit the off on my phone to put it in my pocket so I could use the facilities. I didn't want to, there's some of the information if you want to pause it and blow it up so you can read it. There's all their rules and regulations, but yes, this is, oops, let me get close enough, I'll zoom in on it. I kept saying I was walking past the high school. It's the middle school. The high school's on the other side of the middle school. My apologies for not having that right, but that's the middle school sign. All right, I'm gonna put you on pause again and not put you in my pocket and turn off the phone. So I'll hopefully have you guys with me when I get to the other side of the part where I want to film. So just a film, or yeah, just a field that I'm walking through right now. So I'll put you on pause. Okay, here's that little bit of the creek, or creek, depending on what part of the world you're in, how you say it. But let's see if I can zoom in a bit more for you so you can see the babbling water. Like I said, I'm not a professional with this. I just figured I'd come out and get some walking in. All right. Okay, I'll put it on pause again and continue my walk to get to the other side. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in. I know I keep telling him I'm gonna film again until I get to the other side. I think that might be the high school. That might be the high school over there. What I filmed as I walked past with the flowers and all that and those benches and stuff was the middle school. As, oops, learn how to use your own stuff, Robert. All right, so that's the high school over there. This is the middle school. I'm gonna put this on pause till I get to the other side of the trail, not to the other side of the afterlife, hopefully. This makes me have more life, this silly thing that people do to exercise. So, talk to you later. Okay, folks, I'm back. Coming through the tunnel, as you can see. I think I just passed a mother and son walking their dogs. One, the younger one, was called Cooper. He's 7 months old. He's in training on his leash. So I did not want to interact. The mom had her dog, both golden retrievers look like, but her dog didn't seem to care that I was there. I mean, it looked at me and that, but didn't really make a big fuss to come over and see me. But Cooper, as soon as I got closer, decided that he wanted to see what I was about. But I spoke first to the gentleman and said, "Oh, you got him in training." And he goes, "Yeah, this is Cooper. He's only 7 months." And I said, "Oh, okay." So I didn't ask to pet him. I didn't ask, to interact, which I understand that's what petting means. But anyhow, since he said he was in training and he was trying to get him, not that he was bouncing around or anything, but he wanted him to be in a heel position. And Cooper decided he didn't want to be in a heel position, and because my voice must have distracted his training. So when I spoke to his owner, he started to try to come towards me to see what I was about, which wouldn't have bothered me, but since his owner did rightly say that he is in training, he's only 7 months, I was not going to interfere with that, as he was trying to get him back under his commands gently. So I was like, that's your dog. I have no right to interfere. He was not doing anything wrong at all. I just didn't want to interfere with his training. So I did not film the interaction. I'm on the new trail now. Saw them before I entered the tunnel. But yes, he was training his dog. And I understand when you're training your dog and you want to try to keep that focus with the dog and focusing on you and what the command was and stuff. And if somebody comes up and goes, oh, what a cute little doggy, and tries to pet it without even speaking to the owner first or getting permission, they can throw the training that they're trying to achieve out of whack. That's all I'm saying. Oh, here's these wonderful big noisemakers. I don't know if you can hear the buzzing from them, but if you hear a buzzing noise, that's them. They go all the way through there. You'd have to zoom in because I can virtually, physically see 2 more towers behind this one, and there's quite a few going in that direction. So those are the towers. I'm on this part. Now me and my boys, we've walked this trail before. I'm not to the new part that I walked yesterday, but this is a new part for you guys because you've already seen the other part that I've already walked. So when I get closer to these people that I see walking, I don't know if they're walking towards me or walking away. That's one thing I just don't understand, how your mind, you know, you're walking towards somebody or walking away from them, even though you're facing them, it still looks like they're walking away from you. Even if they are walking towards you and you're still trying to walk towards them, it just looks like they're walking away from you, which this might be the case. They could be walking away from me. I'm not going to zoom in to find out if they are or not, but we just have a couple of people ahead of me on the path. I will probably pause the video as I get closer to them. Yes, the person's on the bike coming near me, so I'm going to pause. Okay, back to filming. A little bit of standing water over here. It's obviously been here for a bit because every once in a while you get a waft of skunk. So alright. I may end filming when I get to the new trail. When I get to the start of it, but when I get to that part where the street is, because I don't know, the way my knees are feeling right now, I don't know if I can do that area because I still have to walk back to the car. Trying to remember if there's a bench further up or not, because I might have to take a seat, let my knees relax. They weren't doing this yesterday. So, like I said, I was not planning on walking today. I was just going to do, I was just going to do normal stuff around the house and just have my phone in my pocket, because when I have the app on, it records my steps. So it might have been a day where I had very little steps recorded, but so be it. That's what would have happened. But I figured if I didn't get out, at least do something, then Monday comes, I may not want to do anything at all. But with Monday, I'll be at work, and I only have so much time to go out and walk, and then come back to my seat and do some to my desk and do some work, and then go out and do some more. I'm doing all this, even though the video is stopping at certain points. I'm not. I'm still walking this. Haven't sat down, haven't taken a break. I went to use the porta pot where the disc golf signage was. But yeah, so other than using the porta pot and taking a drink on the trail, that's about the only time I've stopped, other than just maybe turning around once in a while to see what was behind me, or if there was any need to. But this pretty much is a quiet little area, and so I felt, anyone should feel safe coming out to a park and walking the trails that they provide without anything happening, or anything happening, whatever it may be. So, all right, I have a feeling I'm going to stop filming for a bit till I get to the new area of the trail. So I will see you guys. Sorry for the out of breath. I'll see you in a bit. All right. This little North American robin decided to come visit. There you go. You see how brightly colored it is compared to the British robin? But yeah, that's a robin. That's a North American. Oops, there he goes. There might be a she, because they're usually I'm just talking on my. There he is. All right. Let's figure out pull. Okay, guys. Viewers, subscribers. We have done that. You can zoom in on it. Now we're entering the Stark County Park District right now. There we go. Now, this is funny, because it says, there's a sign that says no automobiles. However, there's a speed limit sign. I don't know if people are riding electric bikes through here or pedaling. Now, here, remember that sign that I showed you in the first part of my walk? This is the kind of sign I would expect to see. Not that archaic one that we saw with the guy bending behind his dog with a shovel and a plate. I'm not sure what's living in there, But there is, seriously, there is a dish up there that has food in it. Alright. This is the part that I walked yesterday. I will take you to where I stopped, and then I will make a decision if I keep going, or if I turn around and walk another area of the park and then get back to my car. It is Sunday. I've done 2 days. Oops. Let me get the sign in there for you. That's Philippe, I think is his name. The little frog mascot with a walking stick and backpack. That's Stark County's wildlife symbol. Alright. I may lean up against this fence post. I didn't have to do this yesterday. Oh, I know why. It was, oh good, it's sturdy. It was a bit cooler yesterday. The sun wasn't out, and I just spotted something. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. Let me zoom in much. There he is. Mr. Squirrel. Alright, that's good. Okay. Alright, enough of that. Sorry about that, folks. Like I said, I know I'm out of shape, okay? But, so this is a sign that says, stay on the trail, respect the neighbor's rights, thank you, Stark Park. Well, I'm sorry, but I needed to lean on that post, which, as you can see, it wasn't that far. It was that very first one there, not the one where the broken rail is, but there at the top of the hill. That's the one I leaned against. So it wasn't that far off the trail. But oh yes, very nice environment coming up around the corner. It was running yesterday. Not sure if they'll be having it running today. There was a little bit of a pond with a water feature. So we'll see if we see that when we come around this corner. Okay. There was a person out here doing yard work yesterday, taking advantage of the cooler weather. I think he was mowing, or maybe but he had a tractor and with a wagon hitched behind it. But getting some of his yard work done. You can hear right there is the guardrail for the street that I'm next to. So you can hear cars driving past. Yep, the water feature is going, and let's see if I can get an area where I can film it without being intrusive. See the water splashing out. Let me zoom out, see if I can get to a better location. These trees, it's kind of hard to show you that water feature. Now you can hear it though, I hope. It's loud enough I can hear it without using any type of course, when there's an opening, it's hidden. Okay, maybe you can see it a little bit. Okay. Okay, coming down to the intersection. Oh, okay. All right. Walk across safely. And then get over to this side where I can walk across the street again. Well, a different street, I should say, not the same street. Okay, there's clearly nobody coming from the left. Okay. Clearly nobody coming from the right, so I'm going to go, because the speed limit is 45 miles an hour. And I really don't want to go flying in the air if I would get hit by a car going that fast. So, we shall continue on this trail. Oh, all right, the trail ends at 0.8 mile, so we'll just do the whole trail. I thought it was going to be further than that. All right. I may just, when I get to the end of this, stop filming for the moment. There's some of the trees and fauna. But, yeah. Get to the end of this. See what it's all about down here. And then turn off the camera, put it back in my pocket, walk back to the main part of the vehicle, the main part of the park, and see if I'm just going to go straight to the vehicle and say my final goodbye for the video in my car, or if I feel like holding my arms up. Oh, okay. Now this is interesting, folks. And I'll see it when I see it, and I'm going to have to remember to look for it when I go back, because I did see it the other day when I was walking on that part. This is a new part for me, but horses use grass berm to the right. So that makes a heck of a lot of sense now, because that sign I saw as I was coming off of that trail that I just walked across to get to this one, there was a sign, but you only see it when you turn around and start walking back. It'll be made clear when I see that sign, or when I film you that sign, show you the sign, whatever. No, I am not turning to mush. It's just, I know breathing's automatic. I just like to have my brain focus on that a lot more to make sure that it's happening. Yes, you can hear some of the birds chirping away. You can also hear some of the cars, since I'm so close to that road still. Mainly we have robins, finches, sometimes goldfinches, sparrows, chickadees, pigeons, doves. I did see an owl yesterday. I did film, or not, sorry, I did not film. I took photos. I turned that into a reel and placed that on my Facebook account. So you should be able to find it. I did make it public so people can view it. There's a nice home off to the left there. I'm not going to film it. Don't want to be intrusive, but there's a nice big, I don't know if I can see the flag anymore, but they had a nice big American flag flying. Not too many people will do that anymore, because I'm sorry, I'm of a generation where you did things differently, because the generation before us and that generation before them fought in 2 wars and fought for people's rights and fought to get rid of tyranny and oppression and other things. And now we have all these people boo-hooing, crying about the simplest little thing, and then having to have safe spaces and all that. It's like, come on, grow a pair. You know, used to be you'd handle yourself with fisticuffs and stuff, and now you get people bringing out guns and knives and all this other silly stuff. And you used to have a punch up, and then your argument was settled. You'd either walk away from each other or you became friends and went and had a beer. I mean, there was a saying when I was a kid that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Well, apparently now words hurt for people. So I don't understand it. I'm just saying, I just don't understand how the world has turned the way it is. I don't know if there's certain religious things that have happened, if there's parenting things that have happened, if there's social things that have happened. Like I said, I don't have answers. I just have questions. I see things. There's things I don't like. I try not to get involved in too many things because it's not my place to judge. But there's just things that don't make sense to me at this point in my life. And it's like disconcerting, because it's like, you know, if I have to... Oh, sorry, I just spotted something. Wasn't sure. Let me see if I can focus in on it. Oops, sorry. That is what... Oops, sorry. I apologize, yes. That's a chipmunk. I just caught him out of the corner of my eye. A little chipmunk. Alright. Thank you, Mr. Chipmunk. I will leave you alone. Go back to lower my zoomage. All right. Oh, what do we got here? We got a stop sign, obviously. But wasn't that neat? Getting to see a chipmunk. Not sure how many countries have chipmunks, or you may not call them chipmunks. You may call them something completely different. But obviously, this is somebody's driveway. I don't want to get run over. There's that sign again, respecting people's rights, our neighbors' rights. There's a couple coming up with their dogs. I will stop filming. Okay, I'm back. Mother and daughter walking their dogs. I didn't want to film the encounter because they were trying to control them. They're barking, and they told me they're jumpers, they're friendly dogs and that, but they just didn't want them jumping on me and stuff, which I appreciate, but wouldn't have mattered to me because I like dogs and that, and as long as they're behaved and stuff. I grew up in a household full of pets and that, so I just don't have any at the moment because my roommate and her son are allergic. So as long as they are living with me, then I won't have an animal. I mean, it does take a lot to raise a pet, as people know. You have going to the vet, obviously, food bills, like I said, the vet bills, and then you got to make sure that they're, I don't want to say entertained, but you got to play with them and exercise them so they feel fulfilled. They got to be able to get out and stretch their legs and stuff, and go for walks and things like that. And so if you don't have the time to devote at least an hour maybe each evening to take the pup or older dog out for a walk, and then at least on the weekend, if you're able to give a go at a dog park where it can just run and be nuts with other dogs and stuff. And if you don't have the room, to be honest, if you live in an apartment and stuff, then you may not be able to get out as often, as much as you want to. But you know, I'm just saying these are my opinions, not mandated by anyone. Just, you know. But yeah, I just don't have a pet at the moment, and as I get older, I don't know if I should. Once my roommate and her son, if they would move out, or if unfortunately they do both have health issues and that, so if they would pass away, I don't know when that will be. I hope it's not soon, obviously, but as I get myself older, I rightly don't know if I could take a dog pulling on me, because I do have a bad arm. I have what they call a shoulder spur, and I also have a tendon in my shoulder, my strong shoulder, my right shoulder, calcifying. So every so often I wake up in severe pain. I have to get a shot of cortisone. They have me doing some exercises, but they keep telling me if it keeps hurting, they may have to go in and do surgery. Now this one at least showed me that yes, there is an actual issue going on with my shoulder, that I've been living with this pain for quite some time due to the fact that I went back to the same company, not the same place, but the same company that saw me. Went to a different location, and that doctor took an x-ray, said, oh yes, you got this. But anyhow, back to the reason I went there in the first place. I was playing softball, church softball. I was at third base, picked up the ball, went to throw it, and my arm just went bloop. Ball rolled on my hand. I couldn't even throw it. We get finally up to bat. I can't even hold the bat in two hands. I'm in so much pain. So I'm trying to hold it with one hand, and the umpire says, sir, you can't. You have to hold two hands. You have to have two hands on the bat. I couldn't do it. I could not hold that. This must be the horse path. But yeah, I just couldn't hold it. So I left the game, went to the ER. Told me to follow it with my doctor. Doctor recommended we go to Spectrum. Went to Spectrum Orthopedics. Not Spectrum, the cable company, but Spectrum Orthopedics. Went there. Guy gave me shoulder cortisone. Gave me a work light duty thing. Told me to come back in a few weeks. Gave me another shot and said, oh, if it's still hurting within a year, come back and we'll operate on your bruise. So I'm not sure how you operate on a bruise. I mean, I've seen how bananas bruise and stuff. So there's a, you can see it, a little bit of a butterfly. Right there, that white. I saw it fluttering over here, so I figured I'd come in and get a little closer view of it. But yeah, so that's the problem with my shoulder. So I'm sorry, I didn't realize my finger was in the frame. That's why I got to keep switching from my left hand and from my right hand to my left hand. It's in my left hand right now. I'll put it in my right hand in a little bit, or if I'm not going to film, I'll put it in my right hand to have it on pause, because I found out if I turn or make the phone go black and put it in my pocket when I was using the facilities, so to speak, that I had to start a whole new video, which is, this is the part 2 of what I was starting to film. So, oh, let's see what this red sign is. What is this going to say? Maybe this is where I have to turn around. What's this say? I'm getting to the point where I got glasses on. I've had glasses since 8th grade. Probably should have had glasses well before that. What's it say? Trail ends in 1,000 feet. Okay. All right. Good to know. All right. Trail ends in 1,000 feet. So let's go together, my friends. Finish this trail, and then I will stop filming, or I'll put it on pause, I guess, as long as I can hold onto the camera, and then I will unpause it to show you that sign. Yes, that sign I told you about, that now will make all sense when we've seen and talked about the other stuff. I think most of you probably already got clear idea of what the sign is going to be. So let's go down to the end. Some different kind of floral and fauna. Looks like some old cattails, maybe. But like I said, I am not a wildlife person, knowledgeable of any of that. Now, I don't know if you can see because the sun just blinded me, but there's an airplane going up past that tree right there. I don't even know if I caught it on film, but I tell you what, if you've seen my pictures that I did of the deer and stuff of when I was walking, there were some vultures that were flying in the air, and I didn't think I had a snowball's chance, and you know what, to capture them. And lo and behold, I had this one picture of the whole sky with a long, I don't know if it was from a jet or if it was just the way the cloud was. It might have been from a plane. I just had a nice big bird fly over me, if you saw the shadow. But there's farmlands in Ohio. But Yes, I know I said previously I didn't want to, but those houses are far enough away, and I'm not using a zoom when I did that. So, but anyhow, what was I? Oh yes, the photos on my Facebook. Anyhow, I was just starting this week of walking around on a walking track at work, and noticed those vultures and that, and then I was trying to get them to focus in and trying to get it, and then I clicked the picture, and I was like, oops, sorry about my fingers again, but I gotta change the camera. But yeah, it was like no chance. I was like, nope, I just see nothing but blue sky. And then I am so glad that I did not throw that photo away, because I had cropped some of the, I cropped all the photos just to give you a better view of what I was seeing, so you didn't have to try to zoom in and do all this stuff yourself to see what I had seen when I was out walking through that week at work. Well, I couldn't believe it when I started zooming in and cropping that photo just to see if there was anything. I couldn't believe it. I saw a little black dot, and then I focused on that dot and got it bigger and bigger and bigger. Unfortunately, it's a little bit blurry, so it's not the sharpest quality, so I apologize. But I couldn't believe that my camera on a cell phone, not a professional photographer's camera that does all that high-speed stuff and can film, you know, a bird in flight or whatever, and take all those photos, and you can see the wing movement and stuff in each photo, whatever. I'm not saying whatever is meaning that I'm jealous of those. I'm just saying that I'm surprised my cell phone camera was able to capture that it went that distance to pick that up. Now, yes, if you've viewed my Facebook channel, since I've allowed some of the posts to be public, and you've seen some of my photos of the moon, those are all, every one of my photos that I've taken is with this cell phone. So yeah, I'm rather pleased with its quality and how well it can zoom out on certain things. Well, it looks like we're getting close to the end of the trail, folks. As you can see, it looks like there's a bunch of rocks up ahead. Now my left arm is starting to act up. So, but I don't want to interfere with people's stuff. I might sit on one of these rocks and sip a little bit of my water that I have with me, and start walking back to the park where my car is. But when I get towards that one sign, I will certainly turn the camera back on, and then you can see what I'm talking about, and then I will make a decision if I want to film heading back to the car or not. I mainly was doing this to keep myself entertained and to keep me going while I walked. And I think, I mean, if I take a different path to get back to my car, I might film. But as for now, I will leave you at it as I try to sit down. I don't want to fall over. Oh, that feels nice. Let's sit down. All right. Let me. Oops. Didn't. And then, of course, I have my hand right in front of. Okay, yes, I know I can't zoom in around. Anyhow, this is me. My glasses have that ability to turn into sunglasses when they're out in the sun. Transition, I believe it's what it's called. But anyhow, I am here at the end of the trail, so to speak. Have a little bit of water left. I will consume some of it. Not a lot, because I don't want a sick belly. and I'm trying to walk back. So I will sit here for a little bit, let my legs, I can feel them vibrating. I will let them rest for a bit. See my hat? See the jacket? Go Browns. Not happy with them picking Deion Sanders' kid. From what I've been told by people or read on things and stuff, I don't even know why they wasted the pick. So anyhow, I will see you guys when I get to that one sign. All right, I'm gonna put this on pause again. Sorry about the stuff, since I'm not a professional. Anyhow, see you guys after bed. There's a cardinal. I'm sorry about that. And of course the wind picks up. Sorry for the shaking hands. Like I said, I'm not a professional. I don't have a stick or anything. Whoops, and they flew off. Sorry, didn't catch it flying off in time to follow it. All right, I'll put you on pause again. I'm just back there at the very end was those rocks I was sitting on, and that's where that red sign is. You can see in the distance, it's telling me that the trail ends soon. So I'm back to where I think the horses go. So I got a little bit more walking to do yet before I even get to that sign that I want to show you. So I'll put you on pause again. Okay, I'm back. Let me zoom on that sign. The reason I'm zooming in on it, this is a path that I came down that was part of the Metzger Park. Oops. All right, so where the heck am I? There it is. There's that sign I wanted to show you. That's why all my talk earlier about what I was talking about comes pretty clear. And so we're back to where this part of the trail started. So I'm going to leave you guys here. I shall make my way down that long path down there to the main trail of the park and work my way back to my car. If I would go the other trail that branches off the one I'm going to go on, all it does is take me around those ball fields I showed you and up around past the kids' pavilion, the kiddie playground, and then winds me back towards the pavilion and the dog park. I really don't want to, I don't know if you can see them, but a female and a male cardinal, there they are, just made an appearance. Okay, there's the pair of them. So that's a good note. They usually say if a cardinal comes to visit you, it's from somebody that loves you. So, all right, I will leave you guys there with the cardinals. And I will, I may post something to let you know when I get back to my vehicle, still alive. Anyhow, y'all have a good one. Bye. All right. This is going to be real short because I am, pardon me, very low on battery. I made it back to my car. As you can see, I'm still at the park. Just got back to so thanks for watching. And I'm going to sit here for a bit, get my legs underneath me, so to speak. I walked the most I've ever walked today as an overweight adult. When I was younger, I used to do the Gold Rush walkathons that they had back in the late 70s, early 80s. So, all right, folks. Hopefully some people will see this. I don't know. Not with my finger in the way, I'll tell you that. All right, have a good one. Bye.